What is up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning, RLT family. Good morning, everybody out there. Beautiful week. I hope everyone's with their family either today, tomorrow, or in the upcoming
What is up,
holidays.
everybody?
Oh,
Good
sorry.
morning.
YouTube's chiming in. Hold on,
Morning.
let me mute it. Okay, good to go. All right. How's everybody doing today? Holiday weeks are usually low volume kind of days, but we do have some exciting gaps down. Futures are down quite a bit, as you can see from the last 2 hours. We've just been dropping. On what particular news, I don't know, because we've had some horrendous retail earnings, but not anything to do with tech. Maybe the Nvidia frenzy continues, and maybe that's why we're pulling back. I'm not sure why the Qs are pulling back, but it's a healthy pullback, right? I mean, we need the pullback on the Qs. So let's check out the Qs on the daily. It's not a devastating gap. It's not like, oh, we're gapping all the way down to here, which would make it an island reversal or something like that. It's not like that. It's just a slight pullback. Let's see how we do around 387.50 level and then take it from there. If we're gonna bounce, I feel like this is the range we should bounce at. If we're not gonna bounce and continue on down, I'm okay playing that also. If we look at the weekly chart, guys, so this is a daily chart. We've clearly, I mean, if anybody has a doubt now, then we need to look at it a little bit differently, or with a different approach, but we've clearly broken out of this level, right? And with this gap up, we're clearly bullish. If we look at the weekly chart, we do need a pullback. So if we get a pullback today, if people want to kind of sort of get out of their positions and take the week off, the holidays, I kind of get that. We do absolutely need a pullback. We're at resistance, somewhat of a resistance right here. We could see a little bit more of a pullback. I would not be expecting to be down below 382.80 today. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to pull back that much at all. But if we do, I think that's where I would draw the line. Other than that, yeah, if we do a small pullback, we can continue higher all the way up to a new high, really. So yeah, that's the weekly chart. I wanted to show you guys something on the monthly chart. So here's the monthly chart. And I know we rarely, I mean, there's no real reason to look at the monthly chart for a day trade session, but I just want to show you guys, I mean, technically this could be an inverse head and shoulders. So just something to throw out there. Inverse head and shoulders on a monthly chart is not a bad play at all. Um, there's the 3-bar play here. It's strong. The economy is, I mean, the markets are strong. So yeah, I'll be able to play it bullish, bearish, either way. But I mean, for a day trade today, I feel like a pullback may be the way to go, and we'll see. All right. Okay, now that the Qs are out of the question, here is SPY. Nothing really crazy. SPY has a little bit more resistance than the Qs do, but it still does. And we're at that range. So let's see what happens here, what sort of a pullback we get, and then take it from there. There are some interesting gaps today. DKNG has to be my favorite day trading gap today. It's up there today. It's pretty up high. And then I was looking at the weekly chart also, and it's at resistance. I mean, it's not like it's could go a little bit higher. It does have room to go a little bit higher, maybe around in the 40 range, but it's a gap and go at somewhat of a resistance, or at least it was earlier. Hold on, crew. All right, well, it's not a perfect gap and go. It's not exactly gapping down. It was a little bit lower earlier, but I guess it's pulled back a little bit. But this has to be my favorite gap and go today. I feel like we're going to pull back to at least this range. So let's see where we go from there. I think right at open, I would want to short this below one green candle. So that's my plan on DKNG, and we'll see. All right. Okay, let's go look at some of the bigger gaps, and then we shall discuss what the usual suspects. And if you guys have anything else that you want to look at, let me know and we'll take a look at it together. All right, Lowe's. Just, all of these companies, Lowe's, Kohl's, American Eagle, they're all struggling right now. This is a pretty decent gap and go. I feel like this would shatter certain dreams over here of hope. All the buyers may want to get out at open. So I would wait, although this is a pretty big, well, it's not that crazy, but it's an island reversal. It's a big gap down. I would wait for some buying to come in, and I'd want to go short below that, but I would be cautious. So the reason why we wait for some buyers to come in is because we need that momentum of them getting out also, right? Like if we get some buyers that are trapped, they'll get out, and then that'll instigate other bears to jump in and some of the older buyers to get out, right? So I need some buying to come in first and then take that out. So, and then scare them out. Another thing why we wait for buying to come in is because if there is going to be a 10 EMA bullish, then we can, I guess then we won't get filled, right? So we can save ourselves that way also. But yeah, I feel like a continuation down to at least this trend line could definitely happen today on Lowe's. Well, we're almost there, right? 193, 194 is doable, I think, today. So let's see if we can get some buyers to step in, and then we'll come back to Lowe's. I'm going to move Lowe's up ahead and DKNG obviously up ahead also, and we'll come back to it. All right, you guys are throwing out some tickers. Sky says, how'd you play DKS? Is that Dick's Sporting Goods? Are they gapping down too? Oh, ooh, okay. Let's see. Are there any weekly? Nothing really here. Honestly, Sky, I would look for a fade. I don't think, so I'd wait for some buyers to come in and look for a fade. So a drop down is what I would expect it to do. Although I'm expecting it to fade, I wouldn't be in this trade for too long. So, I wait for some buyers to come in. I would go short below that. So let's actually draw this out. So we'll do green candle. So on the 1 minute chart, we'll wait for a green candle to come in. And then we would look to take that out. So enter a short below that, but I would move my stops really quickly because, or move it to break even because, it's a pretty decent gap up. So we can get bought up at any second. So just be aware of that. But this is a pretty decent gap up. I would want to fade it for the first half of the day and then see if we can get bought up. And again, it's a retest gap, so it should retest and then go higher. That's the only way I would play it. I would not want to go long at open. I would not look to do anything else other than that. All right. George says Tesla and Nvidia. All right. AVGO down. VWM merger. Speaking of mergers, are you guys following the whole OpenAI and Microsoft drama? Oh my goodness. What a big mess out there, right? Like, what an amazing, I'm a big fan of drama, guys, and I am loving every bit of it. A big fan of other people's drama. Let's just call it that. Broadcom is emerging. So remember how we have rules? Well, this rule didn't really apply when Tesla was at 1700, but remember, I have rules to not play a ticker that's lower than $10, just because it's just worked out better that way in the past. I also have a rule to not trade tickers that are a little bit higher than $1,000. So this falls almost into that category. Although I really like this gap down, so I will watch this. And it's only because maybe we could do this with options. I don't know. My account's not big enough to be able to trade $1,000 ticker. That's the hesitation. But hey, I mean, we traded Tesla when it was at 1,500 happily, so we'll make it work. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, beautiful gap down. Lots of hopeful buyers trapped today. I think right at open, I would want to get out of this. So I would want to short this. And just like the other ticker that we looked at, Dix, I think, I mean, we got to be very careful shorting these things because essentially, I mean, the markets are still bullish, right? We don't have a gap indicative of direction on the broader markets. So, yeah, we've got lots of tickers doing different things. This thing could shift wins in a heartbeat. I mean, the trend is obviously bullish and we're trading against the trend. So, right at open, I would wait for buying to come in, go short below that, and look to get out probably around 950. I don't think I would want to be in it for longer than that. Again, could we have a horrendous big red candle like this? Sure, we could. I would just time it well and play it with a good setup where I would have my risk to reward at 950. All right, cool deal. Let's see, Tesla, Nvidia. We do have YouTube, gang. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Richard. I'm starting to recognize you guys from YouTube. That's awesome. Marie says pullback after a huge run yesterday. Yeah, probably that's exactly what I expect. Yeah. Just a little tiny pullback. Cute critters. Can I look at, hold on, AMD. All right. Sorry. There's this little emoji thing and I couldn't see what ticker you typed in. AMD. Let's check it out. Oh my goodness. This also is very, very pretty. Of a gap and go, almost a gap and go. It's not really gapping down. If it was gapping down below, it would be a gap and go. But the fact that we're gapping down below the body of this candle shows weakness. And I feel like AMD is going to have a pullback of some sort today. If I know anything about AMD, it likes to make its grand move within the first few minutes of market open. So what I mean by that is it just does whatever it's going to do for the rest of the day within the first few minutes, drops, and then the rest of the day it just builds back up. Or goes higher within the first few minutes, and then the rest of the day just fades back down. So, with AMD, you got to be really quick right at open. You should have a plan and go from there. So I actually like this gap. Well, it's not really gap, but I like where we are pre-market. So let's call it that, pre-market action. I like this pre-market action. I'm looking for a pullback. I would want to play AMD today bearish, not bullish. So I'm looking for a pullback on it for sure. So a little bit buying coming in and then a 10 EMA to the downside. And yeah, go from there. Let me know, you guys, in YouTube land, if you guys are not aware of the 10 EMA strategy, because I know we tend to throw it out there a lot and we use that term a lot. So if you're not aware of it, let me know and I'll go over it really quickly. All right, let's go look at the star of the show. We're at 500, crossing 500 yesterday, and Nvidia had a amazing, it had a pretty beautiful day yesterday, right? Everything pretty much had a pretty good day. This thing, I mean, if there's trouble in paradise by any means, this thing could pull back quite a bit tomorrow. Or here's my thought, guys. I think because everyone's expecting so much out of it, we're gonna have a foo-foo day tomorrow. earnings are going to be great. And it's probably, because everybody's expecting $100 move up, it may not. Remember when we used to count so much on Tesla for its earnings, right? Like, oh, now Tesla is the only one that could save the markets. It's got earnings coming, and then the volatility would be, it would just fizzle out. It wouldn't be that great. So Tesla would gap up, and then by the time the market's open, it's already faded back down. So I think that's what Nvidia is going to do tomorrow. But if it gaps down, I think it's going to get really interesting. It depends on how low we gap down. So if we have a devastating gap down, then obviously we're going to have some issues. If we have a mediocre gap down to maybe like 490 level, I think Nvidia would just get bought back up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to earnings tonight. We'll see which way it wants to go. Corey says, good morning, MK. Have you looked at BBY yet? Bed Bath and Beyond. No, they went Best Buy. All right, cool. All of these, Bed Bath and Beyond, BlackBerry, and Best Buy, they were all just so confusing. Yes, I know. Oh my goodness, I did look at this earlier. It is gapping down. All of these double bottom hopes are shattered at this point, right? So gapping down, retest gap, just like everything else, wait for a little bit buying come in, and then short below that. But this is a pretty big, devastating gap down. We're gapping, well, we're not really gapping down below. Actually, hold on. Which one is this candle? This guy right here. Okay. So yeah, we're gapping down below heavy, big green volume candle. I think short right at open makes sense. So on the 1 minute chart, if there is a little bit of buying coming in, short right at open. And I would aim for gap fill. But we've got lots of gaps that are giving us just that. So like Lowe's is doing that, DKNG is doing that, Kohl's is also doing that. So yeah, just retail is just not very happy today. Kohl's is not as bad of a gap down as Lowe's is, but it's still fairly bad, right? And this is a pretty big bear flag that we're in. So, at least a touch of this trend line, just like Lowe's, we drew that out. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. At least the touch of this guy right here is a decent target. So 2210 is a decent target here. So yeah, we'll see. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Cute Critter says, what is the 10 EMA strategy? So Cute Critters, so the deal is we have our 10 EMA lines on the chart, right? The green line is the 10 EMA. So the rule says anytime something closes below the 10 EMA as a green candle, you are allowed to go short below that. So here is our 10 EMA, let's say. Well, actually, it'd be pointing down. And we have red candle, red candle, red candle, boom, a retest, green candle. Well, you're supposed to, you could go set up a short below that green candle, because then that just means you're going lower off of the retest. Same exact thing to the upside. So if you have green candle, green candle, green candle, and then you have a pullback of a red candle, you can go long above that. So we have buying come in, buying come in, buying come in, and then we have a red candle. You could set up a long above that, because then you're going long above the S curve. That's what the 10 EMA strategy is. Now we apply that on the 3 minute chart. We don't, well, I mean, usually we don't apply that on the daily chart, but it could still, it works. Hey, this worked, lots of others, this worked. So yeah, that's what the 10 EMA strategy is. Yep. All right. IWM, let's go check that out. Somebody said IWM, so let's go check that out. Is IWM gapping to what? it's extremely strong with this inverse head and shoulders. What a phenomenal, monstrous day they had that day. I think Sky was the only one looking at it that day at IWM. But yeah, pretty beautiful gap down, I want to say, which is not really a gap down. I hate calling it that, but it's a pretty decent pullback, better than SPY and the Qs, right? So I actually like IWM today. We might be able to take a short trade on IWM if we don't get, let me see, 1 second, okay. We're probably gonna get, so I like to use the fibs sometimes when I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. We're at the 786. So this is the buying zone, the 618 and the 786. And if we get, buyers stepping in around this zone, then I would look for a rejection here and then a pullback. So yeah, that's what I would do with IWM. So I would expect the 1 minute candles to get bought up to here and then look for rejection below that. Okay, we have IWM in. All right, what else are we looking at? Let's go look at NVIDIA real quick. We looked at that. This is a pretty decent double top. Also, somebody in YouTube mentioned that. Yeah. The net afflixes it just never slows down. I mean, it's just on a rampage right now. I don't remember the last time I saw Netflix at 500. It's been a while. I mean, I do remember it at 500, but it's been a while. Yeah, could have been a bear flag, but now I think with this move up, it's pretty decently recovered. So I don't think it's a bear flag anymore. I think the fact that we took this candle out means a whole lot. That's what this gap is all about. It's just Netflix is strong. I think if the broader markets pull back, it will pull back a little bit, but it's pretty strong right now. It's coming into some resistance here. Let's see if we can get a pullback today. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm not as excited to trade Netflix because it's so strong and we're trading against the trend at that point. I'm way more excited to trade, let's say, AMD for that matter, or Lowe's, or DKNG, or NVIDIA even. I think NVIDIA is going to have a decent, healthy pullback today. So yeah, Netflix is on a level of 1 to 10. I'd rate it like 6 kind of gap. So yeah. All right, let's check out Amazon. Amazon's gapping down. Ooh, we might have a pretty decent pullback day, guys, because a lot of these tickers are looking very gap and go-y, right? And some of them, I mean, I guess 80% of what we saw today are at resistance already. So might have a decent pullback day today, guys. Amazon, I think I would target 142.71. And the reason why we have such obvious targets, I want to say, is just, like I prefer getting out and earlier. So what I mean is I want to get out when the first, I guess, fleet takes their profits, and not sit through retests and then look for rollover. So like, this is where I would get out. I'd get out at 10 EMA. I have a huge respect for 10 EMAs on the daily chart. Things tend to move and pick sides around that zone all the times. All right, let's go check out our favorite Tesla and see what that guy's doing lately. Tesla's having an okay day. It's an inside candle. We're not really trading it. It could get really interesting, in a sea of bear plays. I think this might get interesting if the markets decide to go bullish today. This is a pretty decent inside candle. I mean, it's a really pretty inside candle. All right, so if the markets get, I guess, a little bit of a tailwind, then we can go bullish on Tesla. I will keep an eye out for it. Let's set up an alert. The last thing I want to do on Tesla, though, let's see where the moving averages are, because lately it's just been a dud. Yeah, see, like it's confusing, and the weekly, Yeah, it's right there. Okay, maybe not. Never mind. All right. Um, I hate trading things that are in between moving averages. With that being said, I mean, this is a pretty wide range. It's not like it's a 10-point range. So it's not like there isn't money to be made, but I prefer things kind of sort of out of moving averages, away from moving averages. So yeah. I don't know if I have a play here. It would have been really nice if we were gapping up above here. Then we could trade it all the way there, but we're not. So I don't know if we have a play. We'll come back to it. It's an inside candle. I feel like there's no need to get super greedy on Tesla today. Just leave it alone. We have other interesting tickers that can get going. So, if I were to pick one, I'd still do AMD over Tesla. All right, Googster. Google's been strong. I think Google's benefiting from all of this AI drama right now. It's actually genuinely, this was pretty nasty, devastating gap down, and we've recovered. We're doing good. We're continuing on higher. I would say buy the dip on Google. As far as a day trade's concerned, I'm not really too excited about anything here. I think continuation is what I would be looking for, just to the bullish direction. And let's see where we end up today at open. Abby is at 191. That's just insano. I cannot believe Apple broke out here. But it did. So let's just, let's accept it for what it is. And yeah, just continuation. There's not real weakness here, right? Like, I wouldn't be going, oh yeah, let's short Apple. So I would let's just keep an eye out for this guy. I think a healthy pullback is due. And then, because we are kind of getting extended from the moving averages right now. But I think overall for the rest of I think till the end of the year, we should be good to go. We're only like 7 points away from all-time highs. So yeah, pretty strong on Apple. Pretty strong move up. But if you look at the weekly chart, I mean, we're going to have some sort of a pullback. We're not going to just continue higher. So today might be that pullback day. A lot of things are indicating that. So let's see. And if today turns out to be that pullback day, then I think NVIDIA would be my favorite one to go to. Really. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool deal. Anybody have any last tickers to look at before I go? Oh, let's see. Marie says Apple's too strong to short. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's just going to have small pullback days and then continue on higher. I think that's what it's going to, pullback days are going to look like this, and we're just going to continue higher. It's just wrong to short Apple. I think anytime you have that idea, just don't do it, because it just always gets bought up, always, just like Tesla. It just always gets bought up. It's got this colorful personality. Sue says PayPal. Ooh, I rarely look at PayPal, but let's check that out. I know Dan and crew is very happy right now. PayPal. Oh no, it's a pretty serious gap down off of a 50 SMA on the daily. Oops. Okay. Although this is a pretty serious, well, it's not like a gap and go yet, but if we have that pullback, if we start getting lower than this, 56.26, I think we're going to have trouble in paradise. This is where the 20 EMA is where I target it, 55.66. All right, YouTube land, the market is open. Unfortunately, I would have to say goodbye. So it's me signing off. Please like us, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. I will see you guys next.